3,
Uh-oh.
2, 1.
Mommy, are you live?
Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Red Door Conversations podcast. We want to thank everyone for joining us for episode 13. We're going to take it a little light this episode in light of some of the heavier conversations we've had. But I want to introduce myself. I'm Kimberly Dixon Dudley, coming from the Medical Center in Houston, Texas, and I want to share my lovely guest. I want to introduce them as well. Miss Lisa White, how you doing out there in Pearland?
Wonderful, Kim.
Hey, Tanner, what's going on the north side, the Woodlands?
I was just chilling.
Hey, Marla, is it raining in Clear Lake yet?
Almost. But Kim, did you say we were guests?
Oh, I'm sorry, not guests. Oh my God,
Girl,
co-host, my lovely
I was
co-host.
chilling too.
We don't
And
have
you know
any
what?
guests.
Look,
That's how-
and Lisa is so super cool. Lisa just went right into it. Boom. She got it.
I meant to say we don't have any guests today. I was introducing my lovely co-host. So, y'all, this show, like I said, we're going to take a little light. We're going to be a little light for this one. We're talking about what's hot and what is not in real estate in 2020. So we're giving you all the juicy trends for remodeling and decorating if you're at home during COVID-19. So that said, we do have a red hot topic to discuss before we get into the show, ladies. And yeah, a lot of people talking about it. And I think instead of it being a red hot topic, it just is a very good point of conversation right now in our country, in the world, and that's mental illness. And the reason that's on the forefront of people's minds is because very public and high profile individuals seems to be suffering with a mental illness in the public space, like having a mental breakdown right before our very eyes. So Kanye West and his wife, Kim Kardashian, have shared their narrative about his struggle with bipolarism. Y'all, and I think it's important that we take a serious approach to this, because I'm going to read you guys some statistics. 2.3 million people publicly struggle with bipolarism by itself. And that's public. We don't know how many people are struggling with it behind the scenes. And I think we kind of dismiss it as something that's not necessarily real because we can't see it. But it's as real as a broken bone or a gunshot wound. And it's just as important, I think, for us to acknowledge and give people space to heal and recognize what they're going through, rather than saying, hey, that person is, just, they got a bad attitude, or that's just them, they're just dealing with something right now. So, as we jump into this, I want to get y'all's feedback and kind of find out what your thoughts are on the issues being discussed and how it's being discussed. But before I do, I think we should take this time to give people an opportunity to understand what bipolarism is, and maybe they can recognize that in a friend or family, and it may prompt them to do something other than just dismiss them. So I'm going to read you just very quickly what the American Psychiatric Association says has deemed characteristics of a person with bipolarism. My master's is in human behavior and social science, so I studied this in school, but I think in our real life, I want to share some of the characteristics that people should be aware of. And it says, bipolar disorders are brain disorders caused by changes in a person's mood, their energy, and their ability to function. People with bipolar disorders have extreme and intense emotional states that occur at distinct times, usually called mood episodes, and they're triggered by something traumatic in their life. But it also says that during a manic episode, people with bipolarism may feel high or on top of the world, want to run for president, or they may feel uncomfortable, irritable, or revved up. But there are often periods where they seem normal. And I think that's the scary part, is because a person may seem normal and really be suffering with some manic emotions internally. So for me, the fact that Kim and Kanye are bringing this or discussing this personal, this very private issue is hopeful that he gets the help, but also hopeful that other people are more comfortable sharing their feelings with their family or telling people how they feel. And just giving a space for this narrative to take place, so people don't have to suffer in private or in shame. So that's my stance, and I wanted to share some facts about that. But what do y'all think about this whole, the bipolarism, the public meltdown, sharing the details of it?
Kim, I think that you hear people say a lot, oh, he's just bipolar, she's just bipolar. And so I think because of those type of statements that are made, that people really don't take it seriously, but it's very serious. And so with that being said, I think that on one hand, we have to be, one, aware, and then two, we have to be open to talking about these different things that we're seeing, different episodes that are had, different breakdowns that people are dealing with. We can no longer just ignore it and say, oh, he's just, doing this, or he, oh, he's, we can't do that. At some point, you've got to say, well, you know what, this is serious. This isn't funny. It's nothing to play with. Right. And then from there, encourage the person to get help. I couldn't imagine going through what his wife is experiencing right now.
And going through it publicly. It's really sad. And, we just need to be mindful that although they are celebrities, they're humans. And, we just, we have to, stay mindful of that. They're dealing with this in the public eye. And it makes it that much worse, especially right. For, I would imagine his wife is going through a lot, because she really has to deal with it. She has to make some decisions, very tough decisions.
Let me just say this. There are many levels to mental illness. It's not just bipolar is one diagnosis of many diagnoses within the mental illness realm. So a person can be mentally ill and not be bipolar. And so I want to make that clear. Bipolarism is not the only diagnosis within the mental illness family. And for me, I'm not going to speak on that family too much, because, my personal thoughts is he's just come out with that he is bipolar and he is ill. But I believe that his wife has a degree of mental illness as well. Because there is something to be said about a family that thrives on public attention all the time. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But getting back to the mental illness, if it wasn't but for the grace of God, everybody the four of us could have experienced mental illness on a daily basis as well. I will be public and say that mental illness is in my family also. My father, who is deceased, and his mother, they both had mental illness. As a young child, I remember both of them having nervous breakdowns, having to take leave of absences from work, having to be on medication every day. So, but neither one of them were bipolar. A nervous breakdown, if one doesn't know what it is, it's just the inability to be able to cope with the day-to-day pressures of life that you're given. And so when you can't function from day to day, then your mind, your body, everything breaks down, and you totally lock up and can't do anything. So I saw that as a kid happening in my father and my grandmother regularly.
Y'all, if anything helps, I mean, I think we could all say somebody in our family or friend or somebody has suffered with something, but if there's a silver lining in this, it's my hope that this is reshaping the narrative, and it lets people be more public about the help that they need, rather than, suffering in silence, or, just sweeping it under the rug and acting like nothing is happening.
And if you know someone is suffering, with a mental illness, and try to help them as best you can. Definitely try to be there for them. Try to get them help that they need, so that way it doesn't end up in a tragedy.
Before we go on to the show topic, I think what we're going to do, you guys, let's put a link. There's a phone number that the American Psychiatric Association has for folks who are suffering with mental health issues, and we'll put a link and a phone number in our Facebook page. So if you or someone needs help and you don't have anybody to call, there are resources out there available for you to help navigate that issue. But to the topic of the day, Miss Tana Young.
Tana Young, we have some interesting things that we're talking about. So we're going to be discussing, what's hot and what's not, as you stated, the 2020 trends in real estate. And I think we can all agree that we've seen a big difference in the trends, especially with builders going from, remember, they would have the stainless steel appliances, the wood cabinets. And so now we've seen a change in that. And we're seeing more, changes, like instead of the wood cabinets, we're seeing gray or white cabinets. We're seeing, as far as technology goes, we are seeing Alexa being put inside of homes now that can, help control your thermostat, or have the Ring doorbells, put your blinds up and down. So we are definitely seeing some really cool changes. We have mixed metals that are in now. Wood beams, to me, wood beams have always been in, but we're really starting to see them, especially with builders. The bond doors are in. Those are really nice. And again, the white and gray cabinets, and the gray colors as well, which is a combination of beige and gray.
And I love all of that.
You're showing us some photos. Tana.
Yes, I love all of that you said, Tana. In my next home, I want wood beams. In this home, I want barn doors. The mixed metals are just, it's everything.
It's really nice, and it adds character to the home. Another thing that I wanted to point out is so before we have the stainless steel appliances, have you guys seen like the matte appliances, like the matte colored refrigerator?
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Nice?
I'm here for them.
Oh my God, those are beautiful.
Yeah. Or color. Have y'all seen color, like navy refrigerators coming back?
Yes, I've seen navy with the gold handles.
I had a client had a white refrigerator and brass or gold handles, or not just the whole package, the dishwasher, refrigerator, everything. And it's so clean. It's just a fresh feel.
It's really nice.
So
what do you guys think about the Alexa controlling? I know some people are like, no, I don't want that in there. That's not something I want, but I actually think it's nice to be able to have Alexa control your blinds or
anybody who knows me, Tana, knows I like everything electric. I want to turn off the lights.
Well, I like everything electric except for I do not want my stove to be gas.
Well, I mean automated. I meant automated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Kim and I are the techies out of the group. Yeah, because we love technology.
I'm like, Alexa, show me my front door, and then I see the front door.
But Kim, I need for you to go and let the people know what are some of the disadvantages of that as well.
Oh, that's a good question, Lisa.
Yeah, I need you to let them know.
This is just my opinion, you guys. Just an opinion. They are definitely listening to our conversation.
That is why Kevin White, my husband, unplugged that in my house.
Not even a question. Not even a question. My Alexa has turned on my lights. It has spoken to me when I didn't call the name. The light rings all the time. Sometimes, like maybe it's listening for me to say something. I mean, it's but I think they're listening anyway, like our cell phones. So I'm the person who's just giving in a little bit on the privacy issue, which is not great because my husband is just the total opposite, the complete and total opposite. But I love it. Tell me who's at the front door.
I love technology. Give me more. Give me more. I love
Give
it.
me more.
Well,
Hey,
that's a beautiful picture of that kitchen that I'm looking at. That is gorgeous. But I think that when designing, I think that there's some things that we have to keep in mind because everybody who owns a home knows that, things come and go and they fade in or out,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So you got
The
to kind of be
trends are always changing.
And Marla,
Yeah.
they change quick sometimes.
Yes.
And later in the
do.
show, I'll give you an example of how quick they change.
let me show you an example of something that changed real quick.
Okay.
I was on this website looking at trends for 2020, what's in, what's out. This picture popped up first.
Okay.
But if I had a client, I mean, most people walk into this and they're like, oh, that's nicely well done, or it's nicely updated. It's got the granite, it's got the stainless, so it looks nicely. But according to designers, this look is trending out. The granite overload is trending out. And so, Lisa, you mentioned something that you wanted in your home. What was it? What type of countertop was that?
Quartz?
Yes.
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 So the quartz is in, the granite seems to be out. Another thing that was really big, y'all. Do y'all remember these kitchens? The Tuscan Kitchens?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's some
That-
builders that are still doing that.
yeah.
It's an agent that I follow on social media. He posted, I think it might have been Coventry, that had something like this. And I said, the home overall is nice. I say, but it looks to me to be a little dated, and it had this kind of look.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But and I think it depends on that price point too, because some of the higher price points, some of them are still building this way. And I'm going, man, this isn't exactly what people are looking for. But yeah, everybody had that Tuscan style at one point.
What else is not hot, Kim?
Espresso cabinets.
Okay.
Dark espresso cabinets are not.
Those are out. People like light and bright.
And I guess I am the opposite of you guys on the show. I am the opposite, and I'll show mine a little bit later on.
Okay. Well, you know what? To that point, it's something I was going to say earlier, Marla. Everybody's home is taste specific, right? So there's a market for people who still love Tuscan designs. There's a market for people who will never give up granite, and there are a market for people who want their espresso cabinets, Lisa White.
Yes.
And I mean, basically, you have to go based off what makes your home a home. I mean,
correct.
We can keep up with the trends all day and all night, but if those trends don't make your home feel like a home,
what I think is wrong, what I think is wrong about this picture, Kim, I don't think the cabinets are necessarily the no-go in here. What I think is the no-go is the paint. The paint is so dated. If you had a different color of granite on those countertops, a lighter granite would go well with those brown countertops.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do some switching up, and perhaps get you some light colors. Make sure the granite has gray in it, where you can put like a gray paint on those walls. That would change the look, and then
take those balances down.
Oh, girl, yes, that's a given. Yes, Lord. And
Lisa, you're absolutely right with what you're saying. But there are some things that I think people need to think about that will flow no matter what year it is. That will, you don't have to do too much of a different design no matter what. Some of the things that I think that will forever be in style is, one, wood floors. Wood floors are a lot more expensive. However, let's think about it. 10 years ago, people were, putting tile down everywhere. And at that time, it was gorgeous. Now, you walk into that same space and it's like, who put this old looking tile down? The size of it and this and that. Where wood floors has never gone out of style. I do recall a time that my parents put shag carpet over our wood floor. I don't know why. But, you know, they took that up. Wood floor is still in
Now,
style.
what I would say is that, what I will say, Marla, is wood like tile. If you have children, wood like tile is actually a better thing to go with than the actual wood. Because if you have real wood, it's going to get scuffed up. It's, you know, you have to take care. Real wood is fragile. So if you're going to get wood, you need to go with that engineered wood because it's a lot more durable. But if you have children, my recommendation is that wood like tile.
That's a good observation, Lisa, for sure. Yeah.
Marla, what else is timeless?
You know what? Another timeless thing is new windows. If you need new windows, a lot of people don't think about windows. A lot of people live in a home forever and ever and ever and never think to invest in new windows. New windows is not going to go out of style ever, 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 ever. So updating those windows are important. Another thing that never goes out of style. Now, you don't want it to be too, like color specific or finish specific, but beautiful chandeliers. A classic, beautiful chandelier.
I'm a chandelier person.
Yeah, you can pass that down to your grandchildren if you want to. So, you know, those are some of the things that I think will always be in style. And then another thing I think people don't think about are neutral colors. Remember, there was a time, and I did it too, where everybody had those dark colors, you know, a big bold red on the wall.
Or the mustard color yellow inside of the kitchen. Remember that showing property?
And, you know, now what people are wanting, and even with the gray guys, I know a lot of people like the gray look that's out now, but I suspect that it will not stick around. So what I've done, I looked at some of the colors, and I think that you can still pull the gray look off, but you want to stick with colors like, for instance, Sharon Williams has 3 colors: agreeable gray, which is not too deep of a gray, and you can go grayish, brownish, tannish, or whatever. They also have agreeable gray, and then a worldly gray. So you can still pull that off, but by the time that goes away and fades out, you don't have to paint your entire home again. So I think people need to think about that. And also, what about outdoor spaces? Having a nice outdoor space never gets old.
Never. You can speak to that.
We was talking about that the other day, remember, because I went and showed a property, and what I like about the house next door, first of all, was an extended patio. I love, love, love extended patios. Ceiling fans, the whole nine. They had the built-in surround sound. But what I loved about that next door patio is that it was closed. It was enclosed. So there was glass around, you know, closing the patio in. Beautiful. That was that was an excellent idea to go ahead and close that patio in with glass.
So that's something that we are considering doing, because y'all know I love going outside. Anytime you come over here, I want you to come outside, get a glass of wine, or come outside. The mosquitoes and the wasps, though, I mean,
they will mess up a whole mood.
They are little terrorists, right, Tana? They will mess up.
They will mess up a whole mood.
A whole mood. So we're thinking about doing that too. We're enclosing our outdoor patio so you can really utilize the space and not be terrorized. And it's so hot in Houston in the summertime. I mean, it looks nice out there, but Lord, don't go out there and try to sit out there. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Marla, one thing I did want to ask you was getting back to the windows. You were saying how people don't think about putting nice windows in their home. What about the windows? I love when I go to property and I see a home that has the windows. You can pull them out. I don't know the correct word for it, but you can go ahead and pull the windows out and clean them from the, you know, the outside and the,
Yes, from the inside, absolutely. I can't think of the specific name for them, but I know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of the
Is
new
it
builds
Low E?
have them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
And I was
And
trying to remember the name of the windows.
So
low
Pella,
E, did you say?
Low E? I think it's Low E window. No,
mm-mm.
no,
Low E
okay.
is low
No,
emission.
low E speaks to, yeah, it speaks
Low
to
emission.
I
the
couldn't remember the
kitchen.
name, but I'm like, I remember you can, it's so simple. You just, pull it on out and
Hmm.
Yeah, Pella
Yeah.
Windows has
is
a
it,
the brand started, I think I want to say they started that design. So a lot of people will
Hmm.
call them Pella windows, but that's not the
Mhm.
correct terminology for it. But I know exactly what you're talking about. But y'all in Houston, when do you have your windows open or want to pull them open? It is just so
But
hot.
well,
you
you
know
just
what?
want to clean them, even if you have your lawn person go out there, they're cutting grass and the dust, just all the particles and everything. You want to clean your glass. I just like
From
for
the
my glass to be
inside
clean.
of your home, yes.
Yes.
From the
You want to have
inside
that
and
glass
comfort of
clean.
the AC, yes. Now, I was gonna say this though, Tana, because for our friends that are, that have beach houses, historical homes, things of that nature, before you decide that you're gonna do something great and change those windows out, you might want to talk to your realtor. You might want to give one of us a call, because remember those old crank windows that you
Yes.
crank, and guys, that's hot, believe it or not. And you may or may not look at Kim's face. Kim says, no way.
I didn't know that.
But
No,
That's
that's
something
hard.
new to me.
yes, yes, they are making those actually again in a newer, more energy efficient way. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Hmm.
are you guys ready to get down to the nitty gritty? I know that everybody has been home during quarantine and they are ready or have already done some remodeling. So what we have here today, we have some, we're going to give you some numbers as it relates to when you get ready to sell that house, what kind of rate of return that can give you guys. So I'm going to do four rooms in your home today. I'm going to do a kitchen. There's a such thing as a kitchen upgrade and a kitchen renovation. Now, if your home is 20 years or less, it may just need an upgrade. It may not need a full renovation. So the full renovation are on those older homes. And can you guys see my screen? So
Yes.
the National Association of Realtors, they did a remodeling impact report in 2019. And so the kitchen upgrade, and the reason the people that were interviewed in this report, the two reasons for doing that project was they wanted to upgrade worn out surfaces, finishes, and materials. And 32% wanted to do that. 20% felt like it was time for a change. Once that project was completed, 29% felt better about the functionality and the livability of that space. So 85% said they had a greater desire to be home since completing the project. 74% said they had an increased sense of enjoyment when they were at home. 78% felt that it was a major sense of accomplishment when they finished that project. So here's the cost recovery. They spent $38,300 remodeling, upgrading their kitchen, and realtors estimated that they would recover $20,000 of that 38,300 that they spent. So that's a 52% recovered from that particular project. Now, 40% of realtors suggested that sellers do something like that before they sell their house. So I would say that to upgrade your kitchen is a good thing, because you can expect to get 52% of that value from that particular project. Now, if we were doing a complete kitchen renovation, then 46% said that they had better functionality and livability once they did the complete kitchen upgrade. Um, the complete kitchen renovation, they spent $68,000 on that. They recovered $40,000 of that, and so that's a 59% recovery from that project. Now, what I want to say about these two, you have to look at the difference in the cost that was spent. So you spent $38,300 to do the upgrade, but for the whole renovation, you spent $68,000. Well, for the upgrade, there was a 52% recovery. For the renovation, there was a 59% recovery. To me, it doesn't make sense to spend that much more money to get only a 7% increase.
Difference. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
and you got to be careful with that, Lisa. Some people over upgrade their homes.
yeah, that's something, and it's something to look at, and that's what your realtor is there to help you with. You know, you have to look at the numbers and see what is going to work best for you. The next room that we're going to talk about is a bathroom renovation, because I have seen and I've shown property a lot of times where the kitchen has been renovated, but they leave the bathrooms to be desired. And I've had clients to walk away from that because they were looking for something turnkey. So in renovating a bathroom, they felt there was 35% felt better with the functionality and the livability of the property. And they spent a total of $35,000 to redo the bathroom, to renovate the bathroom. And that the costs that were recovered was $20,000. So that was a 57% a value recovered from that project. I would say that is a renovation you should go with. If you're going to update your kitchen, then my recommendation is to update those bathrooms as well. What do you ladies have to say about that?
I agree.
I agree with you 100%, Lisa.
Those are the main rooms that need, like you said, if you're going to upgrade any rooms, those are the main rooms that need to be upgraded, where you're going to see that return on your investment. It's going to increase that bottom line.
Another takeaway from this is, if people are looking for homes right now, don't be afraid to do the renovation yourself. Clearly, there's some return on the investment for the person who bore the weight of doing it on the front end, and you're going to pay. If they've already done the bathroom and kitchen renovation, be mindful, buyers, that you're paying for this person's, for them recouping their investment. So you're going to pay a premium for someone else having to do it, when you can go in and do your own kitchen renovation for $30,000 rather than paying an additional $50,000 for the house. So this is good information for people to be mindful that it's possible for you not to have to walk into something that's already turnkey, that you can go in and create your own renovation and it be a fraction of the dollar. That
is correct, Kim.
Good information, Lisa. The
last one that I do want to talk about, and Marla just mentioned this, was the new wood flooring. So so 24% felt better with the functionality and the livability once they installed the wood floors. They spent $4,700 on the actual wood floors. They recovered $5,000 from the project. So that percentage was 106%. So Marla, you are spot on. Those wood floors never go out of style. And so that is, if you're trying to give your place a new look before you put it on the market, the wood floors are something that you should consider highly. And so I'm going to go to some of the exterior. I'm only going to do a few of those. One of them is a new roof. Everybody, we're here in Houston, and our roofs take a beating because of the heat and the sun. And so sellers, if you've been in that home 20 years, 15 years, and you know that house has some roof damage, I recommend that you go ahead and put a new roof on it, because if you're spending the average cost for the roof is $7,500. The estimated cost recovered is $8,000. That's 107% of value recovered from that project. I'm telling you guys, I have seen where I've sold homes with the new roof on it. That was the thing, the
selling feature.
Yeah. That's what they needed to hear to sign the deal.
Yeah, because that's one of those big five that we talk about, Lisa. When we're talking with buyers about things that you're really looking for, not necessarily ticky-tacky things. But that roof is a huge deal.
Right.
Those are the heavy lifters: foundation, the roof, plumbing,
the
electrical, and HVAC. So if somebody's done the heavy lifting on those, that's important. And bathroom, we can do it.
When you are, sometimes people want to do these projects, sometimes people don't. So when you are looking for a contractor, there are things that you should consider. Does the contractor take projects of that size? Has the contractor recently worked on a similar project that you are wanting them to do? Excuse me. How long does the project that you're wanting to have done, how long does it typically take for it to be completed? How many other projects would they be working on at the same time? That's a big one for me.
That is a huge one.
I need to know how much money you trying to make at one time. That's what I need to know, because that means that you are going to give my project less time and it's going to take longer to complete, which is thus you're inconveniencing me and my family. Okay. Can contractors give a list of, you need to find out, can they give a list of referrals? You want to know who else house have you worked on? I don't want to be the guinea pig. Okay. So you need to get a list. Can they provide license and insurance information? We need to, hey, we don't, something happens, you want to make sure that you can be properly compensated for the damage that they've done to your property. How long have they worked with the subcontractors that they're going to be sending to your house? Because they are the general contractor. They're going to be subcontracting with other people. You need to know what kind of relationship do they have with the subcontractor, because if that general contractor is not good with paying that subcontractor will take another job that another general contractor calls them on if the general contractor you've hired doesn't pay well. Okay. Can the contractor start on your project immediately? That's again a person trying to take on more jobs than what they can handle. If they tell you they can start on your job on Monday, but you don't hear from them from 2 weeks from Monday, that's a red flag. And I wanted to just kind of show you guys some of the renovations. I have a client that she's do-it-yourself. She's a do-it-yourself person. And so she is an interior designer. And so she has actually worked on her home herself. And so I wanted to show you, she purchased her home last year. And this is what she's done with the kitchen. She's like you guys. She did not like that, those brown cabinets. And so this is what she's done with her kitchen.
Nice.
And so,
okay, now I like her brown cabinet.
I like them too, but she didn't.
I like her brown cabinet.
So she's an interior designer herself. This is where you can find her on Instagram at My Mode of Style. And so she didn't want those brown cabinets. She's very creative, and she can take an empty space and work miracles with it. This is another project that she actually worked on as well. Now, this was just a little bit of paint, and she took a blank hallway, and she recreated. You see the chandelier at the top, Marla, you mentioned.
I would say it's all about that chandelier.
So she actually, this is what she loves to do. Now, I have a few years ago, about 4 years ago now, I actually did some upgrading in my personal home, and I had white cabinets, and I was tired of them. Once I had kids, guys, it just wasn't a good look for me. And so, being married to my husband, he likes to cut costs wherever he can. And so this was my home when we bought it from the builder, the top picture. That was the white cabinets. Now, we've been in our home at the time of the remodel. We had been in our home 14 years. I was fed up. I had those small children. It was prints and dirt all on the white cabinets, and I had enough. And so I wanted some espresso cabinets. So if they touched them, you wouldn't see it. And so this is where
very nice, Lisa.
We had new cabinets. backsplash. You see how the granite countertops are lighter, so you could go with the darker cabinets. So girl, yeah, we needed an upgrade over here. But as you can see, 4 years later, the espresso cabinets are not even in.
But see, Lisa, just like you in your photo, I like how your kitchen is, because you have the darker cabinets, but then you have a lighter backsplash.
And,
So
and
that's
granite
everything
counter.
everything is light. And the color that Marla mentioned, something about the gray, that's the color that we have in the house as well. So the espresso cabinets aren't so, such an eyesore. But yeah.
Very nice, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love those statistics, because that hones in on why it's important for people that are looking to renovate to make sure that they reach out to us and find out, is it even worth it? And I think most of the time people think about, real estate when they're ready to buy or ready to sell. No, we do more than that, because sometimes you don't know when your job is going to relocate you, and you may have to move. So any type of renovations, you want to get that.
Definitely reach out.
Yeah, get an expert's opinion on if it's worth your dollar.
Well, we thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, this has been a wonderful show. We love talking about amenities, features, upgrading, and all of that good stuff. Renovations, remodeling. We love all of that. You can find us on Red Door Conversations on Facebook, on IG, and on YouTube. Thank you again for spending your lunch with Red Door Conversations.
All right.
You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy. Stay well.